What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Even though the Clippers gave up a lot to get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and don't have much assets in regards to, draft picks and all those type things, they still have their eyes on the draft, and they still have a few prospects, a few positions that they would like to look into to, add more depth and fill. And the positions that I believe they should fill, that they need to fill, really is just the point guard and the center position. So looking at the draft, I always say when you look at the draft or when you draft players, it's a gift and a curse. Or it could be either one, because the gift could be you can draft a good player and sometime he'll be great in college, but then he'll be a bust in the NBA. Or you can draft somebody and mistakenly be like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't draft him. We're going to go trade for this player in the draft and send that player off to another team. And you never really see the likes of how good that player really could be. Think about years ago, the Charlotte Hornets actually drafted Kobe Bryant. Let that sink in. They drafted Kobe Bryant and traded their pick, and he ended up going to the Lakers. And now if you look at the Charlotte Hornets, even though Kobe's not here, God rest his soul, they wished that they would have kept Kobe Bryant. Till this day, I'm pretty sure they do. So, it's a gift and a curse with the drafting, because you really don't know what you're getting until they get there. And then you got to try to develop those players, and the reason why I say that specific part there is because I feel like whoever the Clippers draft, just because they have Ty Lue, they're going to find a way to develop their young player. Because everybody on the Clippers right now is, fairly developed, whether young, definitely veteran players and stuff like that, of course, but everybody has experience on the Clippers and everybody plays, with the same tune. Seem like the culture's good there. So whoever the Clippers do draft, it's going to be it's going to be a good situation for them. They can possibly come into a situation where they're a rookie and win a championship, possibly. That would be awesome for whoever gets drafted, whoever they, whatever pick they have or whatever pick they make that gets on the Clippers that they, pick up in the draft and everything. So right now there's basically like three young players that they're looking at. One of the players is, I think his name is JD Davison. He's from Alabama. I've seen him play. I've seen a couple of highlights of him, really, and super athletic. Move on the floor really well. I don't see a lot of. I see a lot of raw skills with him. I don't really see a lot of season anything with him. And of course, he's in college. I definitely understand that. But, some players that come out of college, it just look like they're built for the NBA already. You see what I'm saying? And it seems like to me, he has a lot of upside in regards to, his athleticism and how he can impact the game that way. But really, to me, the Clippers need more. They need more of a point guard, somebody who can control the floor and, who's in control of their own game and not too, outlandish the way they play. And I see a little bit of outlandishness in his game, but other than that, he is a pretty good, he wouldn't be a bad pickup for the Clippers. I just don't see where he would really fit into the rotation in regards to helping them, because mainly I just see athleticism. I don't really see a great, like a jump shooter or anything like that. I don't really see that with him. Now they do. There was another player. I think his name is Iverson Molinar. He's from Mississippi State. I actually watched a little bit of his highlights as well. Definitely could be a very good point guard. I think going forward, based upon his skills and stuff that I see, he's got some good size on him, and he's got a lot of athleticism as well. You know what I'm saying? But there again, the Clippers need a point guard, right? So if you're looking in any area for the Clippers, if the Clippers are looking at any area, they need a point guard because they need to fill that point guard position. So, just in case they don't really get like a major name point guard or something like that this offseason, in some way, shape, or form, at least they have some type of, young prospect backup point guard, who can give them, some athleticism, can give them some, good raw point guard skills at the moment. Because like I said, that's what the Clippers are really missing, that solidified point guard who can control the game from all aspects and be that anchor in regards to the offense, to getting the offense the highest quality shots as possible. So, I mean, if any point in time they're looking for a point guard in the draft, I'm all for that, because I feel like that's their weak spot. They don't have that point guard to really, set the tone of their offense at times when they don't start out, right away. Because there's a lot of games you look at with any team, not just the Clippers, but sometimes they start off slow with the offense when a team doesn't have a point guard. I mean, even times you start off slow with a point guard. I mean, it can happen either way. But when you have that point guard that understands the offense and can run the offense the right way, there's a lot more times you will start off where your offense looks like it's more in rhythm, rather than you have to just try to catch a rhythm at some point and, make a comeback in a game, rather than just control the game from the start to the finish. That's the reason why you want every position filled in basketball, because you want every position filled to the point where you feel confident that you have everything you need on the floor. Because whether you have to come back or whether you have to go out there and put your foot down to start games, if you got all positions filled where everything is flowing dynamically or good, it makes you feel better about your offense and your chances of beating any opponent that you face on the floor. So if they're going after a point guard, especially one with the name Iverson, I'm definitely all for that. Go after him then, because if he got Iverson anywhere in him, then you definitely jump on that opportunity there. One of the last prospects that I, saw very little of, Tyrese Martin. I didn't really feel like I need to see much of him. I feel like he would be a good, solid player in the NBA if he gets there. I believe he will. Pretty good role player, something like that. But I didn't really see where the Clippers would need him at, because he's a shooting guard. This guy's a shooting guard, and he's actually with UConn. Plays for UConn. So with him being a shooting guard, I don't feel like the Clippers need that. If anything, I don't feel like they need another shooting guard, because like I said, they got plenty of those technically. I mean, Kawhi Leonard could play a shooting guard, really. I mean, even though he's a small forward, power forward, Kawhi could play any of those positions besides center, but center and point guard. To me, he could play any other position besides those two. But I'm just saying, you got plenty of guys who can shoot the ball. So a shooting guard really isn't something that I think the Clippers should be going after. I mean, not unless they just want extra scoring off the bench, which, that could be fine. But to me, they got plenty of what they already need coming off the bench and in the starting lineup. They just need to add the point guard. So this is why I said, as far as this guy, I wouldn't really look into him too much, even though, Martin is very athletic. He can shoot the ball pretty good. And like I said, he has a good feel for the game with the few highlights I did watch of him. I just didn't watch that many because, like I said, the Clippers already have they need in the shooting guard area. I don't really feel like they need to add to that or anything of what they already have. I mean, you already got enough scoring, so a shooting guard is not what you need. And Reggie Jackson is more than, adequate enough to, keep the scoring load going. And then you got other guys off the bench who can step in and, score the ball as well. So it's really not, that big of a deal in that area. So as far as the Clippers, like I said, to me, out of the prospects that they have, Iverson, Molnar is the best one, I think. If I had to pick from one of these three that I gave you, you can go look them up and check them out and see what you think of them and, give me your opinion, or maybe, whatever the case may be. I personally think, if I had to pick from the three, Iverson would be the best. I guess simply because his first name is Iverson. And like I said, if Iverson's in your name, that's the one you need to go with. Because if he got any of those type of dynamics in him, well, then there's no doubt you go with him, because he definitely is going to bring you more towards your future in regards to, what he can do on both sides. I mean, just athleticism wise, moving on the court, being able to score, and, being a downright good point guard. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, the fact they need the point guard more than any other position, they need that position to be filled. That's the one you go after more. So, as far as the Clippers, like I said, whoever they get in the draft is really, it's a good situation for that player, because that player is coming to a team where it's nothing but, a lot of good guys in the locker room, guys who want to win, and guys who are a contender to win a championship. So, I mean, the experience of whoever comes on that roster gets drafted to that team. They have the experience of possibly winning a championship their first year and getting more notoriety than they would probably on any other team or most other teams in the NBA that's not going to be contending for a championship. And your name is out there already. You know what I'm saying? You're a part of a championship crew. Now you can build your legacy off of that and, take it forward. Like, hey, I won a championship at a young age, or I made it to a finals at a young age. So I know what it takes to get there. I saw the grind. I saw the everything. So now I'm going to build my game around what I've learned, what I saw, and, other things I've learned from my coach, Ty Lue, and great players like Kawhi. You see what I'm saying? So whatever young player comes to the Clippers, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to be around a culture like that, with players like that, with aspirations of looking to win it all. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, whoever they pick, I mean, honestly, of course, like I said, they can get some more size in there, stuff like that, definitely somewhere, maybe like a power forward / center type guy. Definitely get somebody like that in there, and definitely get a point guard in there, because I definitely think that's going to benefit them. And, like I said, whoever they pick up in the draft is going to be a good experience for them. And hopefully whoever they pick up, they can really, add to the Clippers' depth more and actually help them make them a little bit more dangerous in regards to having a bench mob that comes off the bench who understands what to do and go out there and execute the plan, just like most everybody else does on the Clippers. So I'm definitely anticipating to see who they get in the draft and what they could bring to the team. I was impressed last year, or, whenever from with Brandon Boston Jr., I was impressed by him, like I said, Amir Coffey, those type players. I mean, hey, they've been impressive. So if the Clippers can add to what they have, then, do it. And then, hey, let's see what happens next year and how it all unfolds. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. As always, check out my other videos. And hey, Khaliis out.